Oh, what strange lore we find across the stars. Hi everyone, and welcome to Strange Lore, a brand new game here on Long Lost Lore. My name is Philip, and it was just decided that my name for this is the Strange Master, and there's no other implications to that as far as I know. It's a perfectly acceptable title for the person who runs a game called Strange Lore. One might think that Lore Master would have been a much more appropriate name to go with, but no. This is a tale of strange planets, distant stories. So, I'm the Strange
Well, but
Master.
you're already the lore master on Long Lost Academia.
No, I'm Long Lost Lore on Lost Lore Academia.
It's been a while since I played that game.
That's
I'm sorry.
true. You've been around a Dreadmaster as Medina. Well, my name is Philip. For those of you who might not be as familiar with this channel, I run most of the games on this Long Lost Lore stuff that we do here, and this is a new one that we're doing at an earlier time. This is in the spirit of back when we used to do some of our Star Trek quicker games in the daytime at varying hours. Which I actually looked back and we did those at so many different times. We would do them.
I told you.
Yeah,
It was random.
it was very random. So I would. It is my hope that this is a little bit more regular, but we might, some weeks this might be on a Tuesday, sometimes a Thursday. We'll sort of see how it goes. But joining me for this initial game is Lauren. Hello, Lauren.
Hello.
I'm very
Player.
happy to have you here.
Hello, Hello, Strange Master.
Hello, Strange Master. Yes, Strange Master. We tried to get a few more people for this first one, but I sort of there's an element to this game where it actually maybe makes sense to start just with you because as longtime viewers of our channel know, I often throw a twist in to these games. I describe them to the players, I let them build their characters, and then we do something it's kind of unexpected. There is a little twist to this one, but it's something that, while I could throw at a lot of the players at the channel, I knew I could especially throw at Lauren.
Uh-oh.
And sort of based on that and the fact that other people weren't quite as available, I said, you know what? I'm going to do this one where the twist will sort of be on Lauren. We will throw this at her as we start this, and she'll be like, oh, crazy. And then subsequent people can sort of, when they're coming into it, they'll understand how it works.
Is it going to hurt my feelings?
Yes, it is
Okay.
designed for maximum emotional impact. I have felt that you don't have enough trauma in your life and you're too good at dealing with it. So my plan with this game is to just give you some of the experiences that you never have, just so
Yeah.
just for our enjoyment.
I'm totally mentally stable in all ways. I don't work out my trauma through my D&D or TTRPG characters at all.
I've never known you to do such a thing. Hello, Galanorian Saber. Sorry you cannot stay, but thank you so much
Hi,
for popping
everyone.
in. And we appreciate everyone for being here. And we got a bunch of people. That's great.
Yeah. Thanks for joining, y'all.
This is gonna be an interesting one. I think some of our regulars will enjoy some elements of this game as well. If I would love to open a calendar right now,
Go for it.
but I don't have. I finished it. I finished the calendar.
Well, buy a new one.
I have ordered 3 more from the Kickstarter,
Ah.
so they'll be here soon. One of them was Pierce's response to this one was "fuck you." This is a fir tree where the pips are like balls on a small tree, so you roll that and have to
That
count.
would mess me up.
Yeah.
I already can't count on
And
regular.
then, though I think this is meant to be a
numbers.
reindeer, it's also just like a cool stag, and I do like this D4 a lot.
How do you count that?
Well, so this is their D4s. All their D4s have this cool thing where 3 of the sides are the image, and if it's pointing up, that's a 4, and otherwise it's whichever side is up.
Oh,
Yeah.
I would forget that.
I used to, now that I use almost that D4, exclusively, I'm very familiar with how it works. The only thing that sucks is you can't, sometimes you have to twist it around to see which side is up. But yeah. Well, I'm nervous because I'm very excited
I'm
about this
nervous
game.
too.
It's always nervous when we start this off. Okay, wow, yeah, I got a little jitters here. How do you feel about starting?
Great.
Okay, so
Nervous.
as you see from our sort of our overlay here and from our got a little bumped. This is a tale of kind of these I'll talk almost for a moment about planetary planetary romance and what that means in the genre. It's one of the earliest science fiction or sort of speculative fiction sort of story genres, where these planetary romances, the most famous of them is, of course, the Barsoom stories, the Princess of Mars, John Carter of Mars, Edgar Rice Burroughs, the same guy who made Tarzan, wrote all these stories about a soldier from Earth who astral projects his way to Mars and joins it on lots of like wars and stuff there. And yeah, and they made a movie of it with Riggins from Friday Night Lights, and it did not gross very much money for how much it cost. Is the story of that movie. Disney was like, "Wow, we really spent a lot on this," but I didn't hate it. Yeah, it's kind of fun.
Everything is someone's favorite movie, and I like that.
It absolutely is. So so the deal with this is that it is we're in the spirit of those stories, those old-fashioned stories, kind of, from the first half of the 20th century, kind of back when it's fun to read what passed for science fiction, and if you even count it as science fiction, some would say, no, planetary romance is science fantasy. And they're probably right. A chief component of planetary romance, just to throw this out there, is that you are focused on, though space travel between planets across the stars is possible, referenced, could be even readily available, for the most part you are focused on single, unique planets. You are focused on what is going on in this strange world. And though it can bring in things from other stuff, like a lot of people say that the greatest planetary romance of all time actually had a movie made of it in the last couple of years. Do you have a guess as to what that would be? You don't have to. It's just I'm throwing it out there if you want to. It's not a quiz. You're not on the spot. But if you have a guess, you can say it.
I don't.
Dune.
Oh.
Dune, by many accountings, is a planetary romance. It's a story of going to a mysterious planet and learning about the special things about that planet, especially like over the course of the whole, sort of stuff. So yeah, some people say Avatar is a planetary romance, and some people say Avatar is Abada because their names are Arnold Schwarzenegger. Have you seen that clip?
No.
The Golden Globes back in 2009. Or 2010, early 2010.
That sounds better than Adele Dazeem, though.
He just, yeah. Well, it's fully accent based. It's not word salad. And he literally reads, he reads the title of, he's like introducing it for his old friend James Cameron. And now a film of Wada, ladies and gentlemen, Abada. And I really like it a lot. So this is a story that is going to be very fantasy-like, but also sort of sci-fi. But there may be some other things going on too, because Philip is a twerp. So Lauren, with this in mind, some stuff is about to be thrown at you, and I hope you can just roll with it. Please ask me if you have any questions. If you need a moment, that's totally fine.
Okay.
So we begin looking at the alien world of Tinnerval. It's a world that, though similar in size to our own, it features vistas you would never see on our planet. There's a lot of purple and blue in the rock and in even the soil. So you have these fields that have purple tinges or blue shades, and what seas you have there can be a myriad of different colors. The other thing that is special about Tinnerval, from this sort of opening vista we have of it, is that there are several planets visible in the sky above it. There's a moon that at this exact moment seems to be sort of green on one side and kind of like red on the other side. Like a dark, kind of like a crimson. Standing on this field, there is a beautiful woman. She is a native of this planet. She is of the Mystery people. They are elf-like, as a reference. They have sort of lithe bodies, high jawbones, long ears, but their skin is purple and flecked with these freckles or dots of silver. Fantastical and alien all at once. This particular woman is wearing sort of robes or almost like a toga. Like she is bearing a lot of skin, almost like a weird amount of skin, one would say. And in her hand she has a scepter, which she's sort of carrying, but she seems to be just moving across this alien world. And we will pull back from this to see a paintbrush finishing up this picture, as we find ourselves in the Premier Periodicals building in Manhattan in the year 1947. And currently we're in the offices of Strange Lore, where a variety of individuals are currently sort of like preparing for an issue that is coming up. We do notice there's some artists, there's some writers, there's people arguing about layout, there are editors. It's kind of like a bustling thing, and we will get into all these characters later. But for now, we're fixated on just two individuals. Well, three individuals, I suppose. One is the editor of Strange Lore. His name is Daniel Bliss, or Mr. Bliss to his employees. He is in the process of sort of like looking over various materials and also barking out some orders to sort of the Girl Friday of the office. Her name is Cora Wood. So, Lauren, you're going to be Cora Wood right now, if you understand.
I understand this reference.
What reference? I don't know what you're talking about. We're just doing a game. Mm-hmm. So, Cora, as he's basically, Mr. Bliss is saying, Cora, where is my coffee?
Yeah, right away, sir. I'll grab that. Did you want sugar, cream?
I want it how I always wanted, Cora.
Okay, and well, sometimes you don't want sugar, sometimes you don't want cream, I don't know.
I don't want either right now. Oh. Cream only at the end of a hard day, if I've behaved myself.
Right.
So
I'll write that down.
As Cora sort of moves to go get coffee, the doors open, and a man walks in. Cora, this gentleman, he is medium height, slender build, although he's not like skinny. He's like not very like he's not like beefy or anything. He has dark hair, kind of a he's the kind of guy who like could almost be sort of more attractive, but he just looks so like kind of like run down. He's got a little bit of stubble on. He's wearing a very rumpled suit with a jacket he's kind of carrying behind him, and he's sort of stepping in here, and there's an energy to him that seems he's very pensive. Actually, Cora, I know we don't have stats for this. Could you just roll a D100 for me as you sort of psychologically analyze this guy? We'll get to Cora's stats in a subsequent thing, but you didn't know about Cora yet, so you don't have stats.
Oh, this is the D100. It's a 5.
A 5. Oh, wonderful.
I was sad for a second.
A 5. Actually, that's great for this. Yeah, that's under a fifth of you. I was giving you just a 50-50 on this. So as you look at this person, you size him up, and Cora, Miss Cora Wood, working in the Strange Lore magazine. It's a pulp magazine, pulp fiction. Back in the day. Mm-hmm. You can tell what certain people are at different times. And you know a writer when you see one. Now, Cora is, she tries to do her work. A lot of people probably think that she could be a little bit, she probably is above this, and in her mind she thinks that. But right now she's been acting, she kind of has a very demure personality. She's very, she kind of just tries to make everything go, etc., etc. But as this gentleman walks in, he kind of looks around, and you recognize that in addition to getting coffee for Mr. Bliss, it is also your responsibility to greet sort of the very few people who wander in.
Oh, hello. Sorry, I was just running to get some coffee, but I just wanted to greet you to our room. Are you looking for the other writers, or?
I'm supposed to talk to Bliss.
Oh, of course. I'm on my way to get some coffee for him. So, would you like some coffee as well?
Oh, yeah, I suppose.
Okay. Okay. How do you take it?
Just nothing in it would be great.
Right, of course. Same. Makes it easy for me. Um, 1 second, and I'll go and grab the coffee.
Okay.
And
He just kind of
and
he stands there waiting. Bliss is over there, kind of like just like looking over stuff, and this kind of man is just sort of standing there. He's watching you, slightly like, huh. Cora, you then notice that he takes a couple of steps and he looks at someone. There's like basically like a canvas. These buildings, at least in my mind, kind of these old publishing things, like it's all just like kind of like like the artist is working in the same room where there's two people on typewriters, doing stuff, and he kind of looks at this cover for a moment and just kind of tilts his head a bit. Okay.
do I notice him looking at that?
You do, sure. Yes.
Okay, can I walk over with the coffees then?
Sure.
Got your coffee here. Isn't it beautiful? I love the skyline.
Oh, it's it's this it's I mean it's different kind of art than I'm used to.
Yeah, but doesn't it make you wonder who she is, where she's been, where she's going? I mean, she's got all of space and time in front of her, it looks like.
Sure.
Right this way to Mr.
Okay.
Bliss.
Thanks, Cora.
Yes.
Thanks, Cora. Yeah. Kind of walks over, and Mr. Bliss says, "Oh,
Did she never say her name to him?
did she not? I assumed she did.
Oh,
I thought she
No.
did, and I didn't reply back.
I don't think she did.
Okay, then he
But
doesn't.
but that wasn't a mysterious thing that he
Sure.
did.
No. It's not supposed to be mysterious. He if he didn't hear it, he wouldn't. He said thanks. When you get over, the boss will say, Cora, who is this? Oh, is this Fountain?
This is
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Ted Fountain. Nice to meet you. He kind of offers Bliss a hand, and Bliss shakes his hand and kind of steps back. And he says, "So yeah, what do you need me here for?" And Bliss says, "Well, for whatever reason, Mr. Ullman sent you down here and said that I'm supposed to have you do a couple short stories rather than go to any of our usual people. They need to keep you on the payroll, apparently." Sure. Have you done science fiction before? No, but I'm sure I can. Well, he says, your first assignment, that picture right there, and he points at the painting. We need a story for the cover. Oh, so you guys just... Okay. Yeah, I can come up with something, I guess. I'm used to seeing art and writing for it. Bliss just gives him this look, this glare, and says, "Okay, well, get to it. And remember, make the prose clear. Our readers are idiots." Okay, understood. Where am I? And he says, "Cora, get him a typewriter." And he sort of steps back.
Right. All right. And she'll set the coffee in front of him and then run to get a typewriter.
There's a few typewriters at various desks. You can sort of walk him over to one. He'll sort of walk
And I'm
over with
assuming,
you.
is it dusty or like?
Make a luck roll.
She'll tidy. Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll see if there's
8.
An 8. As it happens, there's a pretty pristine typewriter available. There's a pretty nice desk recently vacated by one of the normal writers who's gotten poached to amazing stories or somewhere. So yeah, you can.
Oh, here you go. I'll clean it right up. This was one of our best writers, but great writers tend to get poached from us. But I'm assuming that's why they brought you in. You said that you are able to look at art and create stories. That's really interesting.
Yeah, well, that's what we did upstairs.
Wait, what? Would I know what's upstairs?
Oh yeah, you probably would. Just roll a D100. We'll have this be a baseline knowledge thing for you here. I think you'll be very vague.
84. Not good.
You just know there's a lot of different publications in this building. This is all of Premier Publications. You know that Premier Publications, even with an 84, you know that you have, there's pulp magazines like Strange Lore, Unbelievable Tales, Science and Mystery Tales, Spicy Expedition, Legends of Today. There's a lot of different stories that they publish here at Premier.
Mm-hmm.
So he's kind of he's a, he's kind of, you assume
Right.
that he's at one of those.
Oh, okay. Just not science fiction then.
No,
like you said.
I was in the, I was writing comic books.
Oh, like superheroes.
Yeah, like Meridian. You know Meridian. I was writing Meridian. I was writing Ghost Man.
Um,
No.
I,
Teleportia. You ever
I,
heard of
I, I
Teleportia?
tend to read no
Oh, that's
uh
fine. You.
fantasy novels. Kind of
Oh.
my.
Okay. Well, yeah. I've never. I haven't written much prose, but I don't know. A job's a job, right? He pulls out a cigarette.
Yeah, I mean, I guess. I mean, getting coffee is not much of a job, but well, I guess it is. It pays the bills, but you
Is
try
there
to.
something else you'd rather be doing?
Aspirations for someone like me, nothing to worry about. But I hope you enjoy your desk and your typewriter. This is one of the nicer ones. I greased it up the other day. Works like a charm. Gave it a little try, wrote down a little story. Worked really well. So
You write
enjoy.
stories?
Um, yeah, I dilly dally.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
didn't go to college for nothing. So
Hmm.
anyway, Ted, oh, Mr. Fountain.
Ted's
What should I
fine.
call you?
Ted's.
Oh, okay.
Ted's fine.
Cora.
Cora. He kind of looks at you and nods, and then looks back over at that painting. All right. Well, I guess I'd better get started and earn my half a cent a word or whatever they pay down here.
Is that how much they pay you?
I haven't. I don't know.
Oh,
That's why I said whatever they pay. I don't know what it is.
right. Me neither.
haven't signed
Nobody really
anything.
shares a lot of info with me, so um I'll be over by the coffee pot, gotta clean it out. If you need anything, let me know. That's apparently what I'm here for. So nice to meet you, Ted.
Yeah, you too.
She'll like scurry away to the
She
coffee.
sort of heads over. He kind of sits back and grabs a piece of paper, puts it into his typewriter, and then begins to type. So we will cut to the planet of Tinnerval, where we find a mystery elf, much like this individual on this cover. At least that's the name that they now have. Mystri, the mystery. This purple-skinned, silver-flecked woman. She's wearing these sort of like kind of robes, but in this context, she doesn't look as beautiful as we did in this first picture. Instead, she is collecting ale for various patrons behind the bar of a tavern on her planet. This is Corinna. Lauren, would you like to describe Corinna in even more detail than I have, or should we just go with what we've already seen from the cover illustration?
You did a very good job explaining her. Sorry, I was on mute.
Okay.
She does look like very, very hassled, though. Her hair is a little more tousled than you described.
Understood. Yes. Very. She's not in her grand epic era. She's currently cleaning and scrubbing and gathering stuff. And this is a bustling tavern here. There are some other elves who look like her with this purple sort of skin. Although hers is probably no, they're actually good number of people who have sort of similar colorations and builds. But there are also other elves here. These elves have have skin of a shades of gray. Some are darker gray, some are lighter gray. But they also have they don't really have the spots as much, or some maybe have silver spots. But for the most part, these elves and their features are maybe a little more angular. There's even a little more thin. They seem to be wearing the nicer clothes of everyone in this room, but there are also some other beings. There are some of the sort of furry dwarf-like Svaugmen. They have horns of different kind of stuff. So they have like bull horns, they have like 6 or 7 horns, but they're sort of stout, furry guys and girls. There are the Busiko, who are tall, muscular, and have one eye. And there are even the Chrysene, who are these sort of beetle-like bipeds with incredibly shiny shells. But for the most part, it is these beings either like the mystery or these other sort of more gray-skinned elves, who Corinna knows all too well, are called the Caesgyd. Caesgyd, because fantasy novels. The proprietor of this bar is in fact a Chrysene. He kind of like sort of calls to you with this voice, Corinna, Corinna.
Yes, sir.
Where's the ale?
Right away. I was
The
just
Caesgyd
collecting.
are waiting.
Of course. There's just so many others that I was collecting. The dirty.
Oh, serve them first.
Right. And she'll set down the flagons that she had and go run and get more flagons to fill with ale.
Perfect. As you sort of bring these over, you notice that the Caesgyd, a couple of them have, a couple of them are just wearing like black robes, but one of them is actually wearing a suit of polymers and has you notice he has a jetpack and there's like a bubble helmet sitting next to him on the table. You even clock a ray gun as you approach with these things. This one looks a little bit like he looks pretty intense. Actually, wait. Yes, he looks pretty intense. But as you sort of walk over, he kind of looks up and says, "Well, about time."
Yes, and it appears that you have traveled very far to get to this very ale house on this small planet. So I do apologize, but here is your ale, and here's yours. And would you like anything to eat? We've got stew and yesterday's stew.
No, mystery woman. I don't want any food from here. I can barely stomach the ale that you bring.
Yes. I will make note of that. Would you like me to leave you alone? And she'll just
One of them stops and says, "Wait, this is one of the ones in
Yes.
robes. You are what the mystery would term classically beautiful."
Thank you.
If you were to be cleaned up, you could almost look like one of the old nobles.
Oh, well, how very flattering for a simple barmaid. I get that a lot, but you know, it's
If
hard to
you'd
rub
like
the
to earn a whole doubloon, you could come to the capital, dress up in the old garb for part of the games. Gladiators could try to rescue you from some beast of the salt flats. You understand?
Oh,
People would love to see a classic look such as yourself. The guy in like the spacesuit goes, "I think you're overstating her charms. She doesn't look like the old sculptures by any means."
Well, those are actually greatly elaborated. Nobody looks like the old sculptures, to be sure. But very flattering. But I will just leave you with your ales. Thank you for the compliment. Enjoy. And she'll turn around and go back to the flagons that she had dropped off earlier to go and take them to the kitchen. My waitressing is coming back into my brain.
Understood. Then in that case, as you're trying to do all this waitressing, give me a work manual labor roll. It's under physicality. And I'll tell everyone about how we're doing this. We are using our percentile system that we use often in these games. Lauren actually has we haven't built this character ahead of time. Lauren has a lot of points that if she wanted to, she could add as she goes along to be like, you know what, I want to be good at this skill or that skill. So at any time you get to a skill and feel like I should be good at this before making a roll, you could add points to it. How'd you do on that roll?
21. Not bad.
Not bad. No, yeah, very good. That's a hard success. So you may click that box.
Oh yes.
And yeah, you now great. You're as you're just you quickly bring the flagons. Those elves talk to you, or those Kaysgad talk to you for so long that you sort of got a little bit behind on what they were talking about. The rest of the day certainly is some hard work, but you're able to keep up with it with that roll. My goodness, with a very hard success, or with a hard success, you're kind of, and of course the whole time your Chrysene bartender is suggesting that like you're so far behind when in fact you're the only person kind of making it all run.
Yep.
As this goes on, however, would you please roll a listen? I want to see what you overhear.
Well, it's a 69.
Nice. All right, Karina. You don't overhear anything. You're too busy thinking of whatever number you just rolled. But as you make your way through the day, those Kaysgid Eves, those Kaysgid, they do sort of wrap up. They throw a few coins on the table, not with no tip, no gratuity for you guys, but they cover the price of their stuff, and they head out. You didn't really hear much more of them, and it seems, based on sort of some of the stuff they were saying to you, that you weren't really that interested in listening to them. You were probably giving them a wide berth. So the rest of your evening passes without incident. It's growing late. The tavern is closing up. The stragglers are sort of being asked to leave. Some of them are paying extra coin to sort of sleep inside. But I think, Corinna, by this time, you've secured some little room somewhere nearby in this kind of out-of-the-way town on the planet of Tinnerval. Is there anything you'd like to do? I know you know so much about this world and what you are up to, but if there's anything you'd like to do, otherwise we can just presume you go about your normal routine.
She is going about her normal routine,
Okay.
not trying to cause any trouble.
You pack up your flagons. You deliver your things. Your Chrysene boss. I guess that guy needs a name, huh?
She gets her employee meal in a little.
You do
bundle.
get yeah. Actually, sure. We'll cut to you. So you're having your employee meal. That Chrysene. Oh yes, I rolled a Q and a J and a D. So anyway, your Chrysene tap the barkeep. QJD. Let's do.
Quejado.
Quejod.
Oh, that's better.
QEJOD. There will be some apostrophes. I don't know where yet. But as you as Quejod is kind of slides you just like just the scraped out bottom of a stew pot and a flagon of dregs of meat and says, "Well, you made yourself useful today. Here's what you've earned."
Thank you. Thank you. And yesterday's stew, my favorite. Thank you.
Well, are you lock up when you leave?
Yes.
Lock them in. He kind of gestures to the few beings kind of over by the fire or whatever.
Right. I will take care of it.
Good. And he sort of stumbles out and walks out of some back chamber. And you hear kind of clicking sounds as his kind of various carapaces scrabbling apart. You're not really sure what he does in that back room. You probably don't want to know. Peugeot is a weird guy.
Yep.
Your food, I'd like you to roll under your vitality. Give me a smell taste.
That is a 64.
64. This is a rare situation where you wanted to roll bad. Your taste and smell, you're distracted, so you're not really tasting how bad this is. So you're just able to, you just can swallow it down. Oh, that's perfect. Um, you notice there are among the people sort of sleeping here in the tavern, and there's also rooms upstairs. This is the people like staying in like the tap room or whatever. You notice there are a couple of other mystery elves who are sort of wearing rags and such. They're probably just working as kind of farmers in the area. It's been a hard couple of seasons of harvest. There have been some pretty intense weather patterns here and there, and despite your, well, it's been a challenging time. But at this point, you finish your food. The chamber is quiet. Is there anything you'd like to do, or you just want to go home, go for a walk? What would you do on a night such as this? You have, for how much you have worked and how much your beetle barkeep has earned, you have a pretty embarrassing amount of money that you've been given in the context of you've been underpaid.
Well, I'm used to that in real life too.
Exactly. So so what would you like to do?
She'll after she locks up and everything, she'll go for a little walk just to contemplate life, who she was and where she's at now.
Understood. So you'll walk outside. This is actually a fun one. Please roll me
for you.
Yes.
Or for me.
It's a different thing. Could you roll a D8 for me? I said to get all of them.
I know, but I don't listen.
Well, that's a really honest reply.
A 1.
Cool. You walk outside. You can see a few planets in the sky. Night has fallen. The sun is down. The standard sun. Obviously, there are special suns that come, but right now the standard sun has set. The moon, the iridescent moon tonight is red. The moon changes color based on factors that are not totally understood. In the days of Mystrios, long ago, it might have been more understood why the moon would be certain colors, but these days, the Kaysgid rulers don't care so much about the moon, the iridescent moon. They care only for their own exploits. The Kaysgid druids, they almost ignore the moon, which is not how the priests of old Mystrios would have done. But as you're sort of stepping out, you see the red in the sky. It could symbolize different things to different people. You see the other planets, some of them close enough to really make out their shape, others just kind of like spheres of light and a smudge of color. You were on sort of a frontier sort of town. Very just typical D&D village sized, The structures here are largely made of wood, but the wood is, of course, kind of like blue and purple colors. Then there's also stone, and the stone is largely gray, but there's kind of seams of different sort of color or texture within. It's an alien world, but familiar enough to sort of to various tropes. As you start going for a little walk around the area, do you just want to walk? Do you want to stay in the small town? Do you want to do a little walk around the nature? There's some foresty groves, some scrublands and things not too far. There's also a system of caves not too far from here, and there's a little waterfall that goes down from there. It's a bit more of a walk.
She'll stay close to town, but go into nature. She probably has like a little thing of bread that she saved that came with her stew.
It's easily enough. You definitely could have grabbed some. Sorry, I hate it so much. You could have grabbed some bread. That didn't work. I'll never be in focus again.
That's okay.
I'm in.
Change the perspective.
That is. There we go. So as you take some bread, you're walking around. You're looking into sort of the. Walking in nature. You do this a lot. I'm going to ask you now if you would like to spend any of your points on any of your observation sense facets, if that's something you want to do ahead of time at this moment.
Yes.
Okay.
Where are they?
The sense facets, it's under vitality. It's things like listen, look, smell, taste, touch, feel. If any of those you want to put any points into for no particular reason, you would be.
It's out of how many? 300?
You have 300 and you cannot go above 99. Really, you
Okay.
shouldn't go above 75, but I'll waive that for you. It's fine.
Okay. Well, no, I'll go up to 75 for listen.
Okay.
Can you do the math?
Of course.
Do I do the math? Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
75 for listen.
Okay.
And then I will do 75 for look as well.
Okay, great. At this moment, I would think that she would certainly be
And I'll leave that.
sort of a person. Now, I do think once you apply points, I don't think you can do more. So I am going to like darken the ones that you have improved. That'll be our little way that we can remember. So you can't put your 300s in those now that you've already, like you can't.
Oh, I
keep
see.
doing it. Actually,
Okay.
or should you be able to? Maybe I'm being wrong. Maybe it's fine too. What do you think?
It's your system.
In the future, we may change it to that. For now, I'm going to leave it open. This is kind of a half-test game anyway. So, Corinna, as you walk out, your eyes are sharp, your ears
Pointed.
long and pointed, and can hear things. The night feels restless. You are often very attuned to the weather for various reasons. I'm not sure if you're even aware of those yet. Have you looked under your purple column at all? Or actually, this would specifically be if you look at your fourth facet, you might understand what I'm talking about. But you have a particular connection to the weather. You're often very aware of what's going on weather-wise. Something on the air tonight. It's kind of there's a stagnancy to this sort of, or a stasis. Kind of there's a feeling of like heavy air, a little unpleasant in the area. Kind of the wind occasionally will ripple, but then it's just real sort of stolid and kind of stodgy almost. It's hotter than it often is at night. You're walking around the outside of the village, not going too far. You see the trees, you see the paths leading down to the cave, the waterfall. But with your 75 listen, you do actually hear a distant but unmissable explosion. It is in the direction of the caves. It's coming from that way. You're not sure if it's at the caves or beyond or whatever. I'll let you make a listen roll to see if you can determine more pinpoint where it's from.
Yes. 79. So
You can't. It's too loud. You were probably distracted with bread for a moment, and then you hear this explosion.
for the record, she was trying to feed little forest creatures with that bread. That's what she was doing.
Well, then make a. I guess there's no more animal handling.
That's they don't.
Okay, you're doing it. It's fine. We'll get to that. We'll deal with that later. But yeah, you hear this explosion. You're paying attention to some little six-legged squirrel thing, and it kind of ducks, kind of away to some sage. You're like, you sort of look back, and there was an explosion. Something just happened. I'll let you also make a look roll. The degree of difficulty for this would be higher, but you can like peer up and see if you're seeing smoke or any,
will.
vapors.
20.
20.
Yes.
With a 20, which for you is going to be a hard success. You don't see, you can't hear from, like, you're not hearing the echoes, but you do see, like, a little cloud of, like, vapor that's just, like, just for a moment, just in the glint of the red moonlight, you see it. It's a good distance, a mile or two away, over probably by those caves, if not even on the far side of them, beyond maybe even one of the far cave entrances, kind of further outside in the town into the Badlands. You see evidence, perhaps, that the explosion happened there.
Do I have my staff?
You always have it, I would imagine. What
Okay,
does it look
I guess
like right
right now.
now? You can control what it looks like. You can sort of disguise it as to be
Oh, just as like a simple walking stick with
walking
like
stick.
little trinkets on it. Make
Perfect.
it,
Great.
something that somebody like her would
Sure.
walk around.
You have it with you.
Okay. Um, oh, let's
Whoa!
see.
What was that sound?
I don't know. Um, I just want to see if I can do anything. Um, I'll just go in the
You'll go
go.
investigate.
I'll go investigate.
Corinna will go investigate because, though she is a simple person, who has no aspirations, what she's up to
But a
doesn't
simple
matter.
barmaid.
But a simple barmaid, she will perhaps go see what could be going on there. So you begin making your way through through kind of the lightly forested, almost savanna land right outside in that direction. You see the caves nearby. Now, based on what you have seen, because you rolled a hard success, you know that it was further, and you don't smell like any kind of like explosives near here at this cave entrance. So you kind of have two options. You could enter the caves and investigate within the caves, or you could stay above the caves and kind of climb a few hills, climb about a mile's worth of like hilly, rocky, kind of hard terrain, and get to the further side of the caves and see if you sort of see anything there or in between.
What are the caves known to be? Are they like treacherous, or are they just kind of like regular caves? I have to let my forest creature out of my room.
You're fine. Guys, this is just a casual kind of game. Just a weird, it's a daytime thing we just do with a different vibe. You would think, actually, I'll tell you what, let's have this be a sort of like a thing. Roll an analyze for me.
Okay. $61.
Hard days for you. You at this moment, I mean, the caves are dark whether it's day or night, so you're like, I guess they're not any more dangerous in the daytime, but you do have a sense of, these two paths seem identical to you in your mind. You can see no advantage to one or the other.
I'll stay out
You'll
in the
stay
light.
Understood.
That's generally a
All
good
right,
idea.
so you traverse the ground under the light of the red moon and the glow of those other planets above. The stars shining down upon you. Corinna, this beautiful purple-skinned, very scantily clad girl with her sort of like walking stick that may be a little more than she says. She heroically, you can, and it's almost, if someone were to be like describing this, the imagery would be very sort of fun and interesting, and kind of, you really feel the her leaping. And also, this is the thing you may not have noticed, if you look at your, if you would look at your second facet,
Ooh.
you have the Mystery's Agility, which gives you a bonus on climb, jump, acrobatics, dodge, and sneak. I think for this one, I would like to have you make a climb roll as you traverse these rocks. Would you like to add any of your points to your climb score before you do this?
Wait, if I don't do it now, can I never add to climb again?
You can add to climb again. It's just you won't be benefiting from it now.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Make your climb roll. You do have a bonus on it, so it'll help you.
Ooh, 11.
11.
First one was...
An 11 is an extreme success. So yes, the following segment, if someone were to be like, if like this were a story, there would be like a really sort of fun thing as it describes this humble barmaid now that she's out of the village. She's leaping upon rocks and kind of like crawling with cat-like grace as she sort of like leaps in the red moonlight from rock to rock, kind of to investigate whatever has happened outside of her simple town. Some undeniable spirit of adventure still within her humble heart. Her barmaid's bosom bears a nobler. Listen, the point is, you leap and leap and leap, and it does not, with an extreme success, you move very quickly.
Boobily.
Tittily she rolls along. You but I will say that for the purpose of this also, you go much faster than you would have in the caves. In the caves, it would have been like dark, and you'd been like, "Oh, I got to pull out a lantern or this, that, whatever," and double back and getting lost. This, you're just sort of straight lining it, and as you go, I would actually like you to make a smell taste roll for me because you are definitely smelling some strange vapors.
I would like to add,
Okay,
we'll go up to 75 on that one as well.
go up to 75 on smell taste. Great.
Okay. Good thing I did because that's 60 even, so it's a regular success.
Regular success. Perfect. Um, Congratulations. So, it would have still been a success had you rolled a 60.
Oh, well,
It would have
that's
just
true.
been a thing. But no,
Let me dream.
it's great. Mustn't be afraid to dream a bigger, darling. So yes, you have so you basically you smell, you can tell that there is definitely like you're getting close to the source of an explosion, and as you sort of like leap and sort of climb and do all these things, you manage to get to like the far side of these rocks. We'll say for the purpose of this story that you know this area well, so you're now almost like 2 miles outside of town, and you have come to where there is there's an exit from this cave system here. What is beyond this area is much harsher land. Kind of, there's no farming in this area. This is kind of just like bad lands, and sort of people don't really venture this way unless they're doing illicit things. As you get to this point, you smell explosives, chemicals, very like harsh sort of chemically smells. But as you're sort of up here, are you trying to be quiet once you're getting to this point?
Yes.
Give me a sneak roll. And you do get a bonus on all of these. And if you want to add to sneak before making this roll, you are welcome to do so. You don't have to. I'm more saying that just so you know it's an option.
No, I know.
Yeah. How stealthy.
We'll leave it as is for now.
She sneaking. Her supple flesh sneaking across the rocks.
56, so regular success.
56. Okay, so yeah, a regular success. You sort of creep down, and though you know that like your own ears, you can hear like the shifting of every grain of sand under your boot as you're here. Like you suspect most people wouldn't hear you. So you sort of creep and peek down. Please make a look roll. You're muted, but it looked like you said 20 something.
43.
43. Well, I can't read lips, apparently. A 43 is a regular success. You glance down, and Corinna, I don't know in your time as a barmaid, probably not too much, but perhaps in your past there are other times. You know. You've seen bodies before, but you do see at least 2 corpses below on the rocks. And with a normal success, you can't perfectly make out who it is, but the fact that one of these bodies is wearing a black polymer spacesuit, and there is cracked glass kind of glinting in the red moonlight, you believe it is probably that Kaskid who came here.
Oh no.
Who is dead. And I'd actually like you to make an analyze roll.
Oops.
As you sort of put your side.
29.
29. That is a hard success. Corinna, perhaps it even was something that was in your mind. There's a special. I want to actually say one, so it's like these sort of things. We'll call it. You can smell helium sorbonate.
I know exactly what that is.
Helium sorbonate is a totally real thing that I didn't just make up now. But helium sorbonate, you knew that the scent of those acrid chemicals were familiar. Helium sorbonate is the primary jetpack fuel. So you suspect that whatever killed this person, in addition, the jetpack has been destroyed, and that's that explosion that you saw a little while back. You also see there is another body on the ground, but with your regular success with the shadows, you haven't got a good look at it. It's just a dark shape. It very likely could be one of those other Kaskid We'll decide on how it's pronounced eventually or not. But you see that it might be another one of those, but it's kind of in the shadow. You'd have to get closer to determine what was going on.
I will move a bit closer, sneaking.
Sneak down a bit closer. I'll tell you what. If you'd like to, I would let you do this as a. You could either do this as like. I don't know if it would be acrobatics or jump. I'd let you do either acrobatics or jump rather than sneak.
Okay.
To kind of like get down there quickly, but you will need a hard success for it to count as a also snuck, like as like a perfectly stealthy thing.
Yeah. I'll jump.
Jump.
I'll jump.
Cool.
Kind of like she's leaping down the.
It's leaping down. You know what you're doing? You're doing the gymnast thing of like sticking the landing, where you just like you land and don't move at all. You're just.
Oh, thank goodness I had the bonus 22.
22 is a hard success for your jump, so you just and you kind of just with this again this cat-like grace as her lithe purple body glinting in the red moonlight off of her barely the prose is better in the thing, but you get the idea. You sort of land with this inhuman kind of agility down, and you wait a moment making sure nothing's hurt you, and you now are closer and you can see that the body on the ground is that of the exact Kaysgid you spoke with in the tavern, the one who sort of said that you don't have the classical beauty. The other body...
Is he dead? Like, they're dead for sure?
Let's make a medicine roll using your intellect.
Nope. 97.
Fortunately, not a fumble. A fumble here would be like, oh, he's alive, and you're like, wake up. I would say that you're not sure. He's definitely not moving, so your suspicion is, but you're not like, you can't just look at him and be like, yeah, that's this phase in this pool. Like, he's not moving.
Okay.
The other body, similarly, you're not sure if it is dead or alive, but you can confirm it is the wearing the black robes of whichever Kaysgid kind of explorer or just kind of person this person was with.
Can I look around to see if there's anybody else?
Please.
56.
56.
Yes.
A success for you. As you sort of look around, you see that in the cave entrance, there is another body. It is not, however, the other Kaysgid. It is one of the Svaumen, one of those hairy dwarf guys. This one you can tell just from he's kind of like in the direct line of the moon. From your vantage point up above, you couldn't see him, but now that you're down here, you kind of have a direct line on him. He has been like ripped open pretty intensely.
Does it look like he was ripped open by an explosion or by something else?
An excellent question. You would have to get closer and either do a medicine or investigate roll to find out.
I will do that.
Which one?
Investigation.
Make an investigation roll then.
You know what? I'm going to add to that.
Well, hey, great.
We'll do 75.
You got it. It's all 75s. I like it. Okay, cool.
I like intervals of 5.
I have no objection.
Fail. 87.
87. So you get to him, and we'll say that as you sort of grow closer, though whatever keen mind Corinna has, perhaps you really are overcome by this, because this person is definitely dead. These other men you suspect are dead. And this person, the wounds are really intense. And whatever conclusions you could draw about who this person is, you are unable to do so. You even maybe notice some equipment or some cases nearby, like there may be stuff but your brain is just you're just too kind of overcome by you can't get past the blood.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that were someone writing about this, it would be like, though a ferocious warrior and man-like in her courage, her gentle female heart could not get past the aversion to death. Her gentle womb-like spirit could not, et cetera, et cetera. But as you sort of, sort of looking at this, you have 75 and listen now.
Yes.
You do hear from within the cave a little deeper this kind of wet, chomping sound. And then, though you have been extremely like cautious up to this point, you've been very, kind of like stealthy, and you really haven't made sounds or noises and such. But then you hear something that gives you a tingle of fear. What you hear is, for you know that though you can move very quickly and try to stay upwind, certain beasts have noses that will alert them when things are here. And then, would you like to look into the cave?
I mean, I don't want to go up toward it, but I would like to look to see.
You can cast your eyes into it. So this is you trying to see through the dark.
Yes.
There. The cave is very dark. You'll need a hard success to see the cave.
11.
11. That is an extreme success. Your eyes just focus and trying to peer through this darkness. You notice there is a fourth body rather in there. This one, as you're peering through, is the other Kaesgid, the other black-robed man. Over it, consuming it, is one of the snarl lizards that various Svaomen use as like pack animals, as beasts of burden, and in many cases also as attack animals. Most people would do less dangerous creatures as their riders. These snarl lizards are they're very intense, and they make this snarling sound that gives their name, where it's just like, and smaller prey is often paralyzed by the sound of it, and that's why they do this and then leap upon them. But even many kind of people have been known to be terrified in the face of it. They have these massive sort of like mandibles, almost like bugs underneath, but then scaly skin that most simple attacks aren't so good against. But this thing sort of has been chewing on that other gray-skinned Kaesgid, but now turns to you, and you see kind of in that cat-like eyes in the dark, kind of glinting, that sort of creepy, just these two eyes, and then taloned claws begins to step out. It's about the size of like a horse.
Okay.
And it's kind of coming for you.
Okay. Oh, can I use my staff to... Wait, is it the staff or just me that can, like, that can use...
You must use the staff. So in other words, Corinna, my question to you is, are we about to use some science sorcery?
We're going to use science sorcery.
Science sorcery. So yeah, in this thing, it's SCIENSORCERY. Science sorcery.
So what I would like to do is create a gust of wind over the body that's like got the, and send the scent of it to the beast.
Oh, of the Svaoman, of the hairy dwarf thing. Fascinating. I love this, Corinna. So, you may make, using summoning science sorcery, you are doing a simple effect with this. You are basically trying to, like, you're just going to manipulate and can you tell everyone what the name of this specific science sorcery is?
Atmospheria.
Using the power of atmospheria, you are going to pull out your sort of
Atmosphere.
and I'll say that like in a cool way, like your stick at this moment no longer looks like a simple walking stick. It now looks like this sort of like ancient and sort of science meets magic scepter. But as you sort of whirl it around, you begin to create a microclimate around you, and you're going to try to send this scent to that creature. A very interesting plan. I love it. Could you please roll an Atmospheria roll? If you want to put points into Atmospheria, you may.
I would like to. Absolutely.
Okay.
Can I wait, how many can I put in that?
Well, if we're doing this the typical way, it is that you, after 75, it costs 2 points to go up one.
Oh, okay. I'll do
But
75.
I think I'm going to make a ruling, because you're
Because I
here
was
for
so
the
clever.
first time. I will allow you today to spend points all the way to 99, just as a 1-to-1 ratio.
Okay, I will do. Oh, shut Oh. How many points do I have left?
240.
I'll take it up to 95.
95. All right. 95 from 60, that will leave you with 205 points.
Okay.
And you now have a 95 in Atmospheria, so as you sort of you sort of going to try to waft this at this creature. I love this plan. Yeah.
39, which is a hard
39,
success.
a hard success. And now that you upped it, yeah, exactly. You use your Atmospheria to send the scent of the dead Svauman. So kind of it begins to leap, but suddenly you create this gust, and you just curve the air. This wind kind of summons to your command as it sweeps across there, picking up the scent and sending it directly into the nose of this creature. Its nose filling with Svauman blood. At which point the creature sort of pauses, and this it begins to have that low, horrible snarl. And then it leaps to the Svauman and begins to nuzzle him in an almost forlorn, despairing way.
Can I look into the cave? Like not like cast my eyes into the cave.
Sure, take a
to see if
peek in
there's
the cave,
anything.
absolutely.
30. Which is
Inside the cave, you do see there are a few like cases, like canisters, and some pack stuff. This snarl lizard has barding on it. This is definitely a beast of burden.
Oh.
This is not a wild one.
Okay.
So basically what you see is it was eating those dead things. There was some kind of strange explosion, etc. But now it is keening in sadness over the body of this Svauman.
That was his owner.
It was, and that is the thing that you now sort of realize. You're like, of course, the Svauman was the Snarl Lizard's master. I want you to give me another.
That's so sad.
I'm gonna let you do this as detective vibe.
Nope. 75.
You're not sure what the vibe here was. You just can't tell what was going on here. But this creature, upon the sadness, you've directed it back to its owner. You've bought yourself some time.
I will run away.
You'll begin to run away. As you begin to sort of rush off, make a move roll for me. This is just as you sort of are like, unless you're sneaking.
I am not.
Okay.
Oh, no, 63.
63. So basically you start to run, but your running attracts the creature, and suddenly getting out of its stupor, of its sadness, it sees more prey, and you don't know if this animal is angry if this animal is hungry or just lashing out at the death of its owner. Perhaps that's why the others are now dead. You're not sure what happened. But based on you don't know what killed this thing, but you would be very surprised if it was a snarl lizard killed its own master. So you do wonder if perhaps it was that explosion slayed the master, and then nothing was in control of this horrible beast. So
Yeah.
it begins to run after you with this, and your movement is neither quiet enough nor quick enough to avoid it. You know that the beast is about to be upon you. So at this point, you're going to need to fight.
Oh no!
So
Wait, can I throw the bread? Can I throw the bread?
Make a throw roll. You can throw the bread. Let's see how you do at throwing it. That's under your
I just want to
physicality.
see.
Yeah.
44.
You throw the bread, a perfect shot, right into its gullet, and right as the bread is about to enter its mouth, its two lower mandibles like crisscross and cut the bread apart and send it flying. This thing is no omnivore. This does not consume bread. Star Illusions want one thing, and that is the flesh of other animals. So, as you're running, you know that it's upon you. You try to throw your bread.
Bread is the best thing at the tavern, to be honest.
I understand.
So it's worth a try.
So here are your options for fighting, because I know it's your first combat in this, and you're all alone, and combat is, of course, your favorite thing. You can use this scepter.
Yes.
You can use the tertiary scepter of Mistrios as a pretty powerful, like, just like weapon. You can use it. You would use your weapon power to try to like strike back at it.
Right.
It would not, if you were to do that, your weapon you would not have a penalty on it because of the power of this weapon. Even though this thing is so much bigger than you could just like roll against it and just hope you fight it. Option 2. You could try to create a shield for yourself using the shield field of Zerul, your other Scion sorcery.
Right.
Which is a purely defensive thing. And that's the thing you can also maybe do as like a response if things get really bad. You could have it, basically, I'd let you do that as like you'd have to have a penalty on that roll because if something else fails, that's like your last ditch effort.
Right.
Option 3 would involve you expending power to use your atmospheria to create a lightning. To create a discharge of the static electricity to call lightning and attack this beast with it.
Those are my, it's coming for me. There's no...
Oh, it's coming.
Okay.
Listen, it's a planetary adventure. There's gonna be some like fighting giant monsters. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah. Okay. She'll
And were you a Sfow man? Were you a Sfow woman? You would be able to maybe soothe this creature. But not as a mystery, not as an elf kind.
Right. I would like to
So again, I will give you your three main options, and if you want to propose any other options, please do so. You could either spend power to lightning bolt, shield, maybe needing to spend power, but then it's still on you, or simply attack with your scepter.
She doesn't want to hurt anything.
You ask questions.
Well, how much power would I have to spend to do the lightning?
Given how big this thing is, it's like the more power you spend, the bigger the thing's going to be. You would need to spend a minimum of 3, but that would give it a good jolt.
Okay. Well, but what if I didn't want to jolt the animal? What if I wanted to just create a sound to, like, throw it off?
You would probably actually want to, okay, I'll tell you what. If Corinna, because Corinna is she's a sweet, like, woman, and just like so the kindness of her heart knows no bounds. Her bountiful breasts are only expanded by the bounty of her heart within. If Corinna wants to scare the animal off, I would actually say you would need to expend more power to create a bigger lightning bolt that you would hit like in front of it.
Do I roll for power after these campaigns?
You regain power 1 per hour, just like all the other ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So like 5 power?
So yeah, you would spend 5 power to create like a serious lightning bolt, like a lightning bolt that like 5 power. And if you want to do more, it'll just be louder and bigger. You then do that, and then you can roll for atmospheria, and provide it on a success. Yeah.
I will do that. So I take away 5 from power.
Take away 5 from your power. That's your luck you just took away from, though.
I'm not paying attention.
No, you're great. Under current power, that box over there.
Right. Now I see it. 12. I can do very simple math. Okay, so roll for atmospheria. 78, which is a success.
It's a normal success. Do you want to leave it there? You could also spend one more power to reroll. Your power should be at 8 right now because you spent 5 of it, not 1.
Oh, I I can do simple math, but that's not the problem that I was
No, you're
solving.
focused on other stuff. Hey, listen, I threw a lot at you. You didn't even know about Cora tonight.
I didn't. Okay. Um, so I could spend one more to reroll.
You
You're
could spend
saying
one more to reroll.
I will do that.
Great.
Oh, 22.
22. If you wanted to, you could spend 3 luck and get an extreme on that.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and do that.
All right. So basically, Corina, as she's rushing away from this thing, she turns back and she like tries to sort of summon the lightning. And for a moment, it's like, oh, it's not quite gonna work. It's like, oh, it's like you can't grab enough sort of static. You've already expended too much. But then you just as you stand your ground, and this thing is, it's just about to go into its final leap. But you just focus and you call down.
You shall not pass.
This tremendous sort of static burst. Ozone, or whatever on this planet. I guess there's ozone. Ozone fills your nose. It's almost dizzying, the scent of the sudden, as this bolt of lightning, just white hot, arcs up from the ground into the sky. This discharge that you have brought using the power of this planet yourself.
This is the poster.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it should. I mean, this person should. The artist should include this on their drawing, but they were that painting.
That's true.
But you sort of summon this lightning, almost as if, and kind of honestly, at this moment, there may be some things where we cut back and forth. So I will even say, like at this moment, like it's kind of night in the Premier periodicals offices, and there's just like Ted is sitting at his typewriter, and he's thinking, yeah, it's okay, yeah, Alex, yeah, okay, she'll it's almost like someone who did this went to college. He carries on. That's just an aside to himself. The point being, Corinna, the beast screams and snarls. And as you sort of look back, though, once your eyes adjust to the brightness, it is rushing away back to that cave. You are safe. You have investigated, but it is now late in night. You have a long walk home. But you also know something. Men like that, men with jetpacks, men with jetpacks, men with the sort of space polymer suits, the bubble helms, the ray guns, honestly, Kaesgid of noble bearing in general. Their absences do not go unnoticed. People will be asking about them, if not tomorrow, then in a week or a month. But they were not alone there. And there were a lot of cases and materials, and you didn't have time to look. Something was happening at that spot. So this town of yours feels a little less safe. Because now attention will be paid to it. What does Corinna feel about this? What revelation, like what, if one were to summarize her feeling of this?
I don't have enough information about what's going on to feel anything. I mean,
you know who you are, and you know what you're trying to do.
Right. She wants to continue to stay out of trouble, but she wants to figure out what's going on.
All right.
So but for now, she needs to think about how she's going to move forward, because she also can't be tied to their disappearance or anything. So she's going to figure out a way to quietly return to the village and then think about next steps from there.
Perfect. So as Corinna realizes that this place, this situation may require a new move. We cut back to the Premier Periodical's office, where, alright, so, that's, I'll need to look this over, but that's 10,000 words. That's what you wanted for, that's what you wanted, right? And, Mr. Bliss says, yes, that'll be fine. Give it to Cora, she'll,
Yeah, I'll take it. Do you need more powder for the, I've got it. Thank you.
He stops and kind of looks at the painting and says, I wrote for that. You told me to write for that, right? And Bliss says, yeah, okay. I think it's, could be a story about that. I have an idea for a serial. Bliss says, well, if it's halfway decent, we'll print it, because this is a garbage rag and nothing in it matters, because our readers are idiots. Right. It's good for morale, boss. Well,
for the record, I don't think our readers are idiots. They just like what they like. I like a lot of what our writers write, and I can't wait to read this. I've been wondering about her for so long, ever since they started that painting. So,
you mean this morning?
yeah.
Well,
Well, I've seen sketches and everything, and then seeing it come to life just makes your imagination come to life as well. So,
hope you like it. Well, I'll see you tomorrow, I guess.
I'll see you then. Black coffee, right? That's how you take it?
Yeah.
I'll try to remember.
You don't have to remember. You got better things to do. He walks out.
And Cora will like flip through and like scan it just to like.
I will say that for Cora, roll the D100.
I never know if these are good or bad, but I did a 12.
You're rolling in this normal system, so that's good. That's an extreme success.
Okay.
Cora, you can tell from the reading of it that this guy, he writes quick, he writes simple. He's not, he's putting in some of the florid prose, but you do think that Mr. Bliss will be fine with this because this guy's not using like super long words. He was writing for comic books after all.
Mm-hmm.
But you're reading this section about this alien girl. Her name's Corinna. You're like, oh, that's cool. It's almost like my name. Like, I'm sure he wasn't influenced by me or anything. But you can tell this description of this beautiful girl, she's described just as the painting. So also he is someone who, unlike a lot of the writers, he sees the art and writes to it because he's a comic book guy. His description of her sort of, there's a lot of energy in the prose. It's exciting. It has movement. It moves quick. Leap. It's not sort of, a lot of the writers here, they just write these it's like a cake. It's just like so thick and dense. These like you have to reread some of these sentences. It moves. It's got that sort of like whiz bang feeling of comic book. It's interesting. There's certainly better, right? This guy's no Asimov, but it's interesting. And actually Asimov, but Asimov wouldn't quite be a guy now. Point is, you look it over and it's interesting. So, as Cora goes around and flips off the lights at all the little desks here in the Premier Periodicals, that's where we'll end today's game.
That was such a friendly twist.
I told you you'd like it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yes, the twist of this is that everyone's going to have two characters in this game.
And it's very much like one of my favorite episodes from one of my favorite things.
Really? What?
Yeah, I'm not going to talk about it. But those who know.
I think you can't talk about that. That's not promoting.
That's true.
That's not a
In
promotion.
the Pale Moonlight.
You said the wrong one.
Oh!
I think you meant to say far beyond the stars.
Because moons and stars are related.
Got the moon in the morning. Okay. Well, thank you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this. This one's a little different. As you can tell, we're going to have kind of different people show up. I don't fully know the way this will work. I believe we're going to be following like one sort of serial story, but we may sometimes have episodes where it's like it's like following a different thing. But I think you get the idea. It's planetary romance. We're going to be telling the story, but there's this weird framework. And what the heck, what else was this guy working on? Remember that? He was writing other stuff before? What was that about?
Wondering how you were gonna, like, if this was gonna connect to everything.
He was Meridian? He's writing about Meridian the Miraculous? Is that what he said the comic book was called?
I don't know.
Do you know all the... I'll give you a sneak peek and tell you some of the comics that Premier Comics publishes in this day and age here in the late 1940s. As comic book sales are going up, but superheroes are actually kind of going down, so they're sort of starting to shift things a little bit. Although it's not... There's Meridian the Miraculous, Ghost Man. Actually, it's probably the Ghost Man back then. I'm changing it to the Ghost Man. Ice Queen. She has we'll call that Ice Queen Weekly. Because that's both romance and Ice Queen Weekly romance, because it's both romance and adventures. Then there's Eerie Detections featuring Captain Eldridge, Armament the Weapon Man, and Teleportia. And there may be others too, but those are the ones that we've referenced. So
Interesting.
Well, great work. I hope you enjoyed that. Like I said, I think you also understand me being like, there are like super new players I wouldn't want to throw onto, this, because of like, all right, now be someone completely different that you don't know about at the very first thing. But now that people know, they'll kind of understand, and I think a lot of people will understand the primary source material for this being a specific thing. But it won't be exactly that. Of course, it'll be something else.
I love that. That was so nice of you. Now I'm afraid that you're going to be mean the rest of the series.
Well, I'll always be mean.
That's true.
I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I thought you did. I thought you did a great job, and it was very fun, and I like this character, we can also now talk. I'll talk a little more about backstory and stuff. Now that I was actually waiting to fill a few things in until what you guys say in the opening scene is going to be what the adventure's about. You will say things, and that's what will inspire the shape of some of the stuff that comes. Not in huge ways necessarily, but the idea is that the idea for this is that like if everyone's talking about like a baseball game, in the opening scene in the 40s, we then do a thing about some like gladiator tournament, the writer listening to this will try to bring ideas. Yeah, you get the idea. That's my pitch for this for myself. So.
Oh, it's so good. I'm so excited about this.
It's gonna be. I'm really glad. I think it'll be fun. I'm excited for it too. I hope you guys enjoyed it out there watching. It's a little different of one.
And a new time.
So yeah, this time might be better for some people. So thank you for watching. We will be here on Friday night for more Blood from a Stone at 7:30 p.m. Pacific. We will be back on Sunday.
And things are happening. Big things.
Yeah, I mean, Pierce said at some point I should stop saying things are happening on Blood from a Stone, because they always are, but like they really are. I don't know if I should mention this ahead of time because I haven't fully committed to this. Blood from a Stone on Friday. I'm going to say this, but this might not happen because it might not be this week. But it's Blood from a Stone this coming Friday. You may see a different overlay.
Ooh.
We may be shifting the vibe may have shifted here. So that's going to be Friday, Blood from a Stone. On Sunday, we had our 20th level combat this past Sunday, a couple days ago. So we're back with more of that. It's 2 weeks in a row of Here Be Dragons before I'll be off the next week. So come back for Here Be Dragons this coming Sunday. Going to be a big fight. I hope we'll do Third Time's the Charm on Monday, but people have lives and it's scheduled and stuff. And then maybe a week from today, maybe next Thursday, at some point next week, we'll have another one of these delightful adventures. So thanks so much for watching. Go to our Discord to interact with us. Go to our wiki to find out about the characters. Go to our YouTube to watch old episodes if you don't like watching them here on Twitch. And shifting from Dark LLA to Vampire Overlord, Book and Dagger. That's might be a little bit. Thanks for the memories. Oh,
and we do have a thank you to Am I Trending Yet? I don't know if you're still watching, but thank you so much for resubscribing
Oh, thank you.
at tier 3. Thank you so much.
Oh my gosh, at tier 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's really nice. Thank you so
And
much.
they've been here for a year, 12 months.
That's very nice. Thank you. My goodness. Thanks to anybody who tuned in new. Check this out. I hope you enjoyed kind of what we do. These solo games are not necessarily the best example of how these games go. Usually have more players, but for this one, I think it was. I think starting it with just what?
These solo games are great and fantastic, and
Yes, I forgot to mention that
I normally have more.
the Rose Explodes is worth more than one person. Is kind of the idea. It's like it's better to have just her than like 6 other people. That's what she's trying to do.
I'm not saying that.
Okay, it sounds like what you said.
I'm just saying the solo games are great, whether I am the player or not.
Thank you all for watching. This has been a lot of fun. I have been Philip, your strange master. What is that? I shouldn't say it like that?
Don't say it like that. Never.
I shouldn't say strange master.
No.
And then chuckle like this. Go, strange master.
I hate that.
Oh. Shouldn't have told me to have my name be Strange Master. I wanted my name to be something else, and she said don't. So I didn't.
For a good reason. For a great reason.
What's the sign off for this? What should it be?
How do you end like a story in a periodical? Or is there
to be I guess maybe to be continued.
Oh.
Maybe to be continued. Then we'll do that. All right, thank you all so much for watching. Until next time. To be continued. Wait, that's dumb. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Let's workshop. Wait.
Don't be a stranger. That's funny. Because of like it's strange lore, so don't be a stranger.
Ooh, I do like that.
Keep or buy the next issue on sale next week, something like that. You'll check in with us periodically.
We'll to be continued.
Until next, and if you want to see what happens next time, to be continued.
Bye.